Describes himself as a writer who teaches by song. Born outside a small town, outside King Williamstown, Malvory, also known as Mezzo, has released an album called No Color and is here to tell us more about No Color. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What is the significance of the title No Color?
No Color, it's like a seamless sort of album, music-wise. It goes beyond borders, the sounds that I project to the people out there. It speaks to... It is informed by the way I grew up in the Eastern Cape in the 60s, 70s, where away from the apartheid system, we had a vibrant society of people who played together, sang together, played rugby together, cricket together, you know.
Yeah.
And we had a life away from all the mayhem and the dramas. And music formed an integral part of that, music and sport.
Yeah. Who did you work with on this album?
Well, this album is just one person called Mark Watson, the producer. But the singer is a fellow colleague of ours, one of the singers, Hope Zulu, and another lady called Nosipo.
Yeah. How long did it take you to put it together, and when were you finally happy with the final product?
About 2 years altogether. 2 years altogether that we decided, okay, right, it sounds okay now.
Where does this love for music come from?
Well, I come from a musically inclined family, you know. My sister is a great singer. My cousin used to be a teeny bopper in the 70s, you know, the guys with the afros and the platforms, with Jonathan Butler and Little Jonathan, and he was Little Colin. So, and my father was very involved in the choir, church choir, you know. So, yeah, music flows in our blood. My other brothers can sing as well. One is a drummer as well.
What is the theme and the tone of No Color? What do you sing about?
It's a theme of loss, of pain, of relationships gone sour, and diversity, you know. And
how would you describe your music? I mean, you know, the show producer and I were listening to you sing and we're like, we can't quite put our finger on it. I mean, what is it? And
it's so inspirational music, you know, because if you look at Blame It On Yourself, there's a very personal sort of thing to that one. And Free From Myself, it was where I went through turbulent times in my life, and these songs helped change my life to forge a new direction in my life.
What were the highlights of putting this project together?
The real highlight for me was to complete the project because of the turbulent personal issues I went through during that time, and eventually reaching a sense of personal freedom and a serenity which enabled me to be more creative, you know, and speak from the heart, because this is music from the heart, essentially.
What has been the best part of embarking on this musical journey?
The fact that I never actually planned to release an album. It was like, as it progressed, we realized that this is something different. Like you alluded to, you're not sure where to place it. That was the idea, to be somehow different, yet using all my influences of the Stimelas, even, you know, the first person that I saw in action was Mahlatini at a boxing match in the 70s in Zwelicha, in the Eastern Cape. So I saw Mahlatini there, and as a kid, when I was a kid. And then later on in the 80s, during the struggle, the height of the apartheid thing, I was at the University of Western Cape, and there, you know, the Stimela thing became very big. You know, Stimela, Sankomota. And then obviously, you know, in the 70s, we had the guys called Richard John Smith, Lionel Peterson, Jonathan Butler, etc. These guys, Spirits of Joyce, Pacific Express, that's also influences that they come from. So it's a broad range, and there's also always the American influence, you know.
Oh, that's always there. All right, Malvory, thank you so much for talking to us. Malvory Adams, also known as Mezzo, he's a singer-songwriter, talking to us about his album titled No Color, and we'll hear two more songs from him before we say goodbye.